Sweden, it's like 9:30, almost 9:30 in the morning.
Bright and early in the morning. Thank you,
Yeah.
Ivy, for giving us this time of day. I know you're a very busy woman, and we're going to learn more about the things that you do in a little bit. So, Ivy comes to us from a wonderful place, a very happy place, a place that to me resonates of IKEA, of Spotify, of
Yeah.
Skype, right? Of Volvo. Very known
And meatballs.
and meatballs, definitely, right? So I guess before we begin asking Ivy all these different questions, I'd like Ivy to talk to us a little about herself. Ivy, could you?
I came to Sweden 2017,
Okay.
around the autumn part.
Okay.
I'm well, we call it as a love refugee
Okay.
because you leave everything behind to go with your husband.
Mm.
Um, uh, we got married 2016 civilly, and after 3 years, I went back to the Philippines to have the church wedding which you attended.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So, but after my civil wedding, we went to Sweden, and then yeah, that's where all my life began as a new, married.
Married woman.
So,
Right. Very interesting, Ivy. So, what keeps you busy these days? What are you doing over there?
um, yeah, I'm a mother of two.
Mm-hmm.
I have a boy and a girl. And then I also, besides the corona pandemic, I try to do some charity works right now to help people who are in need. But because of the what's happening in Europe, I cannot do so much.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing here as
Okay.
of this moment.
Right.
Yeah, and most of me and my husband are working from home.
Mm.
So yeah, just to stay safe.
That's right. That's right. What is it like with the coronavirus going around? What is it like in Sweden?
Freedom. No, because the government trusts the health authorities,
Hmm.
and what the health authorities say, the people usually follows.
Right.
So when they say don't go to the gym, but the word is we recommend you not to go to the
Yeah.
gym,
Yeah.
but people don't go to the gym when they recommend it.
Yeah.
So they don't really,
Nothing
make
harsh. No? Yeah.
violent reaction regarding it. They just follow.
Yeah.
So for example, but we don't have a lockdown. We never had a lockdown since the start of the pandemic, and they don't recommend mask here, so
Yeah.
we don't wear mask.
Yeah.
But we are, and the children still goes to school from the very beginning. Until now, my children just went to school, so we didn't stop the schooling, but we do social distance.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah,
You
so we do social distance, hand wash, and
that when I think of Sweden, obviously I think of a really pleasant place, very beautiful scenery, very clean country,
oh
right?
yeah,
Very educated and very decent people, right?
family oriented. This is what I like about here.
Right.
They really focus on the family and the children.
Right.
We are not allowed to work on Saturday and Sunday.
Right.
Whole July, no work for you to focus on your family. And
Wow.
then the benefits of, like, when you give birth, you have 1 year of parental
Maternity.
leave with pay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a really good to be here,
Yeah, yeah.
actually.
And especially to raise the children or to raise a family. Because I heard, Ivy, even the men have enough of a leave when their children
Yes.
are born, no? Not just the maternity leave.
Yeah, you divide it within your husband who works like 50-50. I work and I stay home, and then you work and then I stay home. That's for the whole year.
Right.
So
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 somebody is
we have to talk.
right, and somebody is always with the children. That assures that, no?
Yes, that's the thing. Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, Ivy, I was thinking I'd like to check with you or ask you a little bit about the activities that you do, because I know that you help, different
Gala ako, gala.
organizations, right? Yeah, diba? So can you talk to us a little bit about that, Ivy? How did you
Okay,
get into it, I guess, and what do you do?
yeah, okay. To start with, so you will understand, I'm a doctor in the Philippines, medical doctor. So I left it there because I went with my husband when I married him. And then when I got here, just like other immigrants, but especially for non-speaking English country, you have to learn the language. And then I realized that I need to integrate.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's one thing that you bring your culture with you so you
Yeah.
don't forget,
Yeah.
but you have to integrate. So I studied Swedish
Mhm.
to begin with because I learned that you cannot get a job if you don't know to speak Swedish.
Right.
And at that time, I wanted to pursue still being a doctor here
Mhm.
because there are lack of doctors in Sweden. But the thing is, they want, because I'm outside the European Union,
Yeah.
I have to take the board exam in Swedish all over again. Oh
Wow.
my God, I'm too old for that. So, and the grasp of my Swedish language is really bad. You know,
So it's more
I've studied for
conversational.
so many years and then I cannot take in more information for some reason. Some can take it so fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for me, I cannot grasp it so easily,
Mhm.
especially medical terms or,
Technical
I
terms. Yeah.
then
Must be hard.
yeah, that's the first hindrance for me. I was crying like hell besides being homesick.
Wow.
So I said, okay, I will cry myself for like 1 month when I got here. Newly married, nobody, no relative, nothing. It's just me and my courage.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I will cry first and soak myself to death. And then I go study. And then when I started to study, I still have a hindrance of not getting the Swedish language very fast. Then I still cried
Yes,
after
of
that.
course.
So it's really hard. And then I said, okay, I will stop crying for now, and then I'll try to get a sideline. So
Wow.
I went into babysitting actually.
Wow. Yeah.
So you get like 600 pesos per hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if I babysit for a whole day, it's good enough for my allowance for. And then I study. So I go, but for that's for the first 2 years actually. So I was babysitting and studying the Swedish language. When I finished that, then I said, okay, I will take the board exam. I got pregnant.
Oh.
So, so I na-stop pa rin.
Mhm.
Having 2 kids, you got
Yeah.
pregnant, your mom, so everything was set aside.
Yes. Yes.
And then, yeah, so it's just me, but I started to make friends.
Mhm. Mhm.
I first, if you're new in the country, the first thing you have to look for is the Filipino community if you find one.
Right.
So I went to church first of all.
Of course.
The
Right.
because it's Swedish Protestant, dominantly Swedish Protestant. I looked for a Catholic church. And then I said, when there's Catholic church, I'm so sure there will be Filipinos there.
Yeah.
So my husband, Catholic is not so dominant here.
Mhm.
So my husband brought me there. So
Mhm.
I met Filipinos there
Nice.
after. And then I started to see friends and make new friends after
Mhm.
that. But yeah, and then afterwards, um, the relative of my husband, which is like a lola
Yeah.
to my husband,
Yeah.
introduced me after a year to the International Women's Club.
Nice. Okay.
So I joined and I was approved by the board based on the qualification because they have a high standard
Yes, of
for you to get
course.
in the club. So in that club, I also met one Filipino who's starting a magazine.
Oh.
Who she's also a member in that club. And then I said, Ivy, do you want to be a Stockholm editor of my magazine that I will produce Roots and Wings Filipino magazine for Europe? I said, Stockholm editor ka agad? I mean, can I just like interview something? No, because I think you have it. So
Yeah.
I said, okay, I'll try it. So I was in that magazine for like 3 years. And
Amazing.
then I interviewed the Filipinos, like ambassadors in different Europe,
Yeah.
Filipino ambassadors, and then Filipinos, half breeds, half German, half Filipino, half
Yes.
Sweden, half. So, so I interviewed them, and and then I find it very, very fulfilling.
Yes. Yes.
So totally, because I had children and then I'm very busy, then I started not to be homesick anymore.
Mhm.
We do charities to benefit women and children around the world. So, and then they saw me that I like to take pictures of faces
Yes.
during events.
Mhm.
So they told me, okay, Ivy, if you want to harness your capability,
Uh-huh.
you can take pictures first for this year if you want for our events, and you publish it in our bulletin and you write something there. So which I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like in the IWC, we call it International Women's Club.
Mhm.
People there are already fulfilled women.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Accomplished women.
I'm actually exposed to experienced women
Yes.
in different fields, which
Yes.
is good for me.
Yes.
Some are owners of a bank or a yacht club or whatever,
Yeah.
and ambassadors or royalties. So you're in that group where you can harness your social skills. So I
Completely.
really learned there. I really tried to learn from all the different personalities, what makes them tick, and all that.
Yes.
And then after a few years, I was asked to be in the board already.
Wow. Wow.
So I'm now a social activities chairman of the International Women's Club in Stockholm for 4 years
Amazing.
already.
Amazing. Congratulations, Ivy.
Yeah. When I was in the IWC,
Mhm.
I usually looking Asian.
Yes.
We're only like two Filipino member there.
Wow.
And then when I was new, I was timid, insecure.
Yes.
And then I smile and smile. And then, when there's a picture taking, they will look around and they will spot me.
Yeah.
Can you take a
Yeah.
picture?
For the
I will
for
take a picture for
diversity.
them.
Yeah. Oh.
No, yeah. So I said, I am busy.
Oh.
You're
Yeah.
busy doing something else. Can you ask the waiter to take a picture?
Yeah.
Because I'm also a member. You
Wow.
know, the one thing you have to do is don't let get you intimidated by people who are like strong women. There are strong women out there.
Yes.
Don't be intimidated, not because you're Asian. You're bound to be submissive, which you can don't be. And then because I'm thin before, but now I grew. Don't let your physical insecurity get into you, because when I enter a room, the first impression is like I'm timid, I'm a nobody, and then I would tell myself, wait until I talk,
Yes.
then you
Oh
can
my
hear me.
God. Oh
That's it's
my
always in
God.
my mind. So when I started, so what are you doing? They usually ask me. So what are you doing? Well, I'm in the board of the International Women's Club. I'm actually in the board here. So
Mm-hmm.
may I know who you are? Oh, I'm the ambassador of this and that. So I
Mm-hmm.
didn't even know who they are.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they don't know. No. So when I start talking, so how is it doing? So then you will see who the real me is,
Yes.
to remove the physical
Yeah.
impression first. So that's what you have to exert effort on. But as a Filipino, they also know that I am nice,
Mm-hmm.
I am God fearing and humble. So that's what they can see in me, that they get attracted to.
Yes, yes. My gosh,
So
Ivy, wonderful. That's an awesome testimony, because I think a lot of times Filipinos are naturally very timid. You are very
and
right. And
shy.
right and very
Yeah.
shy. But I think the
Yeah.
fact that you're able to kind of say to yourself, that instead of giving yourself negative self-talk, you need to prop yourself up, because who will, right? If you don't do that, who will do it for you? That's an
Nobody, because I'm all alone. I said, sabi nga ng mom ko,
Mm.
you're an agila. Agila, Philippine agila. So don't let them intimidate you. But you also know your
Yes.
board. What do you call this?
Your limits, right?
Limits
Yeah.
there. That's it. So in the thing that they can see you're a Filipino, and then you can integrate and you can socialize very well
Yeah.
without
Yeah.
using people or making them sad or whatever. So anyway, I also know that my mom told me before that God has placed you where you are right now for this moment for a certain reason. So he was telling me, okay, will I be a doctor? I'm a doctor there. I spent so many years, and now I'm an event planner.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like no proper schooling of event planning, nothing. I just learned it from the experts who are in the club.
Yeah.
This is how
How
you plan, this is how you talk, this is how we were going to do it. So I learned from there for many years, and then I did it good. And then outside the club, I do, birthdays of my kids, or a get together, and baby showers. They ask me to help them, to
yeah.
do it for them.
Yeah.
And then they are usually satisfied
Mm,
because I learned pretty well from where I was at. So,
exactly.
and then by word of mouth, they tell, oh, get Ivy. She
Yeah.
will do it good. And
Right.
then
So you're
in
being
this coronavirus, yeah, in this
yeah.
coronavirus, it's hard to make an event, right? Here in
Mm-hmm.
Sweden, you're allowed to gather for 50 people. So we had this events last month,
Right.
with 50 people, also with risk groups, but we were able to do the.
A lot of times when people think of their career, they think when somebody is a doctor, they've got it all set, right? But in
You
your
just have to be a doctor and that's it.
exactly,
Yeah,
know, you now have the knowledge, but really what you're able to do is practice the skills that are inherent to you, and I guess
yeah.
develop them along the way in order to create a different kind of environment for you now, which is really working for you.
But the
And
thing is,
yeah,
I'm just be yourself.
yeah,
I'm the same Ivy you met before, and the same Ivy I am now.
yeah,
I am attracted to do charities.
yeah, yeah,
Just like being a doctor, I want to help people, but here I want to help people in another aspect. It's still the same, helping people. So like I helped arrange like the one the Ethiopian fistula hospital, like
right.
for women who suffered from obstetric fistula, and
Wow.
they get shamed and marginalized because of that.
Yeah.
Women are then we try to give from here in Sweden. I arrange with embassies,
Mm-hmm.
and then I said, okay, we will do this charity, and then can you help us bring the clothes
Yeah,
to Ethiopian hospital,
yeah.
and give and take. And
That
then I also arranged, not only me, but the whole IWC
yeah.
board arranged, for example, children with needs. It's called Little Echoes. The wife of the British ambassador wanted to give donation to Little Echoes by the help of the International Women's Club. So
Right.
we arranged the charity event so we can garner the donations, and then we give it back to the embassy, and they will give it the money to Little Echoes for the children with autism, ADHD, and all those anger management with
Right.
disability. So, and then what's my favorite part is, which I really got better, is like arranging fashion show. It's hard work,
Mhm. Yeah.
but you get to meet the designers
Yeah.
and all that. And then I was assigned to get the models
Yeah.
who can model for free
Wow. Wow.
for, and then so it's an exposure for my part,
Yes.
which I learned a lot. And then at the same time, how I said
Yes.
personalities of
Yeah.
different personalities. So, and then we had one that's unforgettable for me is because the one of the designer
Mm-hmm.
who won the Project Runway in Sweden,
Wow.
uh, his intern is a Filipino. And then
Okay.
I said, okay, who's actually a designer already? So now, so I said, oh, Katrina, do you want to do a charity work with him and do something for the um Ersta Gordon Hospital, where the children is in their fourth stage of cancer. A whole hospital with children in fourth stage. And we want to donate there to make like clowns and balloons and cake. So do you want to collaborate?
Yeah.
Then she got me the designer, and then we had this fashion show, and I asked all my friends to model for me for free because we
Amazing.
want all the money to go to the children.
Yes.
So, and then I invited guests also
Yeah.
so that they can donate and bid and all that. So that's really, I it's fulfilling for me that they don't know who donated the money.
Yes.
But in my heart, I said, I helped somebody right now,
Yes.
which is also fulfilling in my part.
I can imagine the environment too. You're actually able to attract people who also want to share their skills so that other people benefit. And my goodness, Ivy, you guys are making the world a better place by doing that. This concept of,
Yeah,
helping each other, right? Sometimes we feel like it has to be complicated, but really it starts with that dream that you want to just help. And then
yeah.
look
It's
at what
actually it's
happened.
about the help. You don't exert effort if you don't feel like it,
Yeah,
right? You,
yeah,
you will not do. I will just join and attend parties, and
yeah,
that's. But that I only attend parties when it's a charity.
yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
there's something behind in each
yeah.
pictures that I post. Is also somebody benefiting from it. When you're in one party and then a magazine will come and can I take a picture with you? And then you pose, and then suddenly you get in the magazine for some sort.
Yeah.
So and then yeah, it's more exposure, and then you get like a little bit of prestige also.
Yes, yes.
So
And the
yeah,
credibility is built, right? Because you now have this kind of publicity, right? That's
yeah.
wonderful, Ivy. Ivy, I want to kind of take a little step and talk about, you mentioned some of the challenges already and what you've I guess what you've advised to Filipinos who are more timid is really on point. But is there any other challenge that you are maybe thinking of, and if you can share, I guess, how you've overcome it, that would be really good too.
You listen to your heart actually, besides praying,
Yes,
and
yes.
then you listen to your heart because actually, as I've said, I wanted to be a doctor here, but my path is going the wrong way. So it's the other way around. Going to the events planning is totally not in the medical
Not in the
field.
same line. Yes, yes.
So and then I said, okay, if this and I feel happy. I said, I prayed
Yeah,
before, and then I told God, okay, if this is it, this is it.
wonderful.
I don't. I said I don't really ask for a sign,
Yeah, yeah,
but let me know in my heart if it's really for me.
yeah.
I accomplished one event that I did for a friend, and then they were like crying, and oh my God, Ivy, thank you very. And then I said, oh, it is so nice and fulfilling if this is the thing I wanted to do. It's the same thing, but less stress
Exactly.
than being a doctor.
Exactly. You know what? It's interesting that you mentioned that it's the same thing because just last night, okay, as I was preparing for bed just last night, I was listening to a video. I forget which one now, but it made me realize that a lot of us go through life thinking of a career because of a purpose, right?
Mm,
And in your case, the way you're talking to us about your story, it seems to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, but really, what drives you, Ivy, the purpose behind what makes you happy, is this willingness and desire to make people's lives better, to help them with their
yeah, I
happiness.
think so. Yeah,
And
that
and,
my
and
husband told me that too. Like you're genuine, Ivy. I mean, you really go out of your way to help somebody.
because it takes a certain kind of person to be generous that way, and I'm
Yeah,
so happy to be hearing your story, Ivy, because this, I am sure, no, I do not hope, I am sure that a lot of other people are inspired or going to understand what you are going through and will understand maybe this is why God is leading me in a different way, you
and this
know
is why I'm here right now
yeah.
for a purpose, right?
Exactly. And taking from
So,
your mother's advice, you are doing what you're doing for a reason,
yeah, I
right?
wanted to tell like young Filipinos who want to live abroad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you find first see the culture first,
Yes. Right.
because you're going to another culture. You can just not impose on your culture in another country. So you can integrate.
Yeah.
Don't forget your nationality and your own culture, but also integrate to the new culture. That's the first step.
Yeah.
And then go to Filipino communities first. For me, I joined Filipino Artist Association in Stockholm.
Wow.
So I'm also the secretary there. but I'm not the one who's painting or doing that the thing. I'm just, doing the backside of it. Like,
Right.
okay, we're going to have this event, the painting, vernissage, and all that. I help also some the Filipinos from there. One thing about Scandinavian country is there's a you know language barrier that
Right.
you have to penetrate.
Yeah.
Once you have penetrated the language barrier, then it's easier for you to move around
You're right.
compared to an English speaking country. You go to UK, you're in US, and bam, you can have friends immediately. But here you have to learn the system.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You will always encounter many obstacles, and then they will think that you're not good enough. Don't listen to them. As I've said, wait and let them hear you when you start talking. Then everything will just go into place.
Right, right. Because that's the only way that they can see the real person and not the
Yeah.
perceptions they have in their mind, no?
Yeah, they always have that
Yeah,
in
that's
different countries.
I am very happy to be hearing all this because we've been talking with each other on chat once in a while, and I would see your pictures, right? But I've never really gotten the chance to hear it from you firsthand. Thank you so much for taking the
Well,
time.
thank you also for choosing me.
No,
I'm so nervous today, but usually I do the interviews, but not being interviewed.
this is very good karma for you, Ivy. People should hear your story for being so brave in spite of the fact that you've got challenges around you. I love the authenticity too. You know, the fact that you allowed yourself to cry and to just feel the frustration. But look at you now, you know. I guess as we go towards the end of our interview, Ivy, is there anything that I guess you would like to share with those parents out there, you know, who are in, I guess, mixed marriages, right? You're
Oh
not,
yeah,
right? So, how do you, because you've been talking to us about assimilating into a culture as an
yeah.
individual, no? What is it like being married to somebody who's not a Filipino?
I am married to a Hungarian who
Okay.
is living in Sweden.
Okay.
But the thing is, Hungarian has 90% Catholic. So in belief wise, it's more
Yes.
advantageous for me
Yes.
because we have the same wavelength when it comes to praying, going to church, and all that. We're both Catholics.
Right.
So the
Wonderful.
thing is, when I came here in Sweden, he's already a Swedish citizen, and then I became a Swedish citizen. But bloodline, he's Hungarian, and I'm a Filipino. So at home, it's good that you have the same language which you can understand each other.
Yeah.
We speak English at home
Okay.
because I'm not so good with Swedish. But my kids speak English, Swedish, understands Hungarian, and understand a little bit of Tagalog,
Yeah. Yeah.
but cannot speak. So just a little bit of everything.
Mhm.
But yeah, and then the parents per se of my husband, you don't need to always like adjust to them. They know, European culture is like they let you go.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
like the Filipino culture, we have extended families, and usually the lolo lola has a strong impact on
Bonds.
the
Yeah.
family. Here, I realized that it's not the same. They live across the street, but I don't see them for like 3 months
Wow.
unless there's a birthday or I invite them in
Yeah.
or come and visit my children. It's not
Yeah.
like pupunta ako dyan, namimiss ko na yung apo ko. It's not
Yeah.
like that. It's different. You have to tell them that
Yeah.
you want them in. So it's a
Very
different culture.
yeah. But it's
Yeah.
nice,
So
Ivy, because there's certain respect for boundaries, no? That's very
yeah,
way.
they wait until you tell them to do so.
Yeah.
And then what I'm lucky because the thing that you makes you go forward in life
Yeah.
is a supportive husband,
Yes.
actually. My husband is not celoso at all. You know, when I say I have this event tonight at the Italian embassy, okay, when are you going? Later in an hour. And then the next question will be, who will pick up the kids?
Yeah.
You or me? That's
Yeah.
the only question he asked me. You know, that's it. Because there's a sense of security between the two of us.
Right. Right.
So, yeah, I do the same to him. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
he's now in a meeting, he's always
Yeah.
talking to people, but I don't really ask, who are you talking to? Or,
Yeah. Yeah.
who are you going on? I said, okay, you're done. And then you want to eat lunch?
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
I really don't ask. I give him space. He gives
Yes.
my space.
Yes. Very
And then you
important.
grow. The thing is, I never pretended, some elite people here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I belong to just a middle class family, but some elites are really elites, the high end elite.
Yeah.
And then when I talk to them, hello, 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 and then they will ask, so where do you live?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they will know I live in suburban something,
Yeah.
and then so and then I'm still the same
Yes.
person,
Yes.
but then like I get invited still. Like
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah. Yeah. Because
so I
sorry, Ivy. I was just
yeah
going to say, Ivy, you know what? I think humility is one of those things that people take for granted. But
yeah
really, when you stand up for humility, people respect you even more. You know?
yeah. And then that's the first thing I noticed. Like, why are they inviting me?
Yeah.
And then my husband, I don't know. So okay, you want to go? Oh, yeah,
So
sure. And then
adorable.
but it's yeah, you have to just be yourself. They treat you as a normal person, like you're a doctor.
Yeah.
We don't say, hey, Dr. Bernal. We don't say that. We just call you Ivy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ivy, this is the one. Even for like the royalties, when
Yeah.
we're in together, we call them on first name basis.
Yeah.
Unless, or your boss, first
Yeah.
name basis. We
Yeah.
don't like sir, Mr. Nothing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're all the same here.
Yeah.
So we have respect on different jobs and all that. That keeps us humble. When
Yeah.
you live outside the Philippines, you see different aspects also.
That's
That's
right. That's
positive.
right. That is
Yeah.
awesome, Ivy, and a wonderful thing that you're sharing with us because I think a lot of people don't realize that that can be done, you know. And for me personally, when you were telling me this, in my mind, I was thinking, this is a very good society. This is why Sweden is one of those countries where, pollution is very low, people are very happy. I think one of your problems is that you don't have enough waste. You're actually getting waste so that you can recycle it from other countries. I mean, it's one of those wonderful places to be in,
I think,
really.
yeah, the Scandinavian countries are into that.
Is there anything else, final words that you would like to share with our viewers?
Besides everything that I've said a while ago,
So many.
you also have to choose the circle of friends that you have
Right.
when you go to the other countries. Some friends really will pull you down, and then some friends will really help you go up. So you choose well. And
Right.
also don't forget about God, of course. You will always feel it in your heart. And then you will feel if something is wrong, not right, not a good person. You feel it. So always listen to yourself. And usually your instinct is always right. When
That's
you're living by yourself in a strange land, that's what you have to look
That's
into.
great. Wonderful, Ivy. Very wise words too, huh? And I think Sister Nicole will be very proud because you are now telling us and reminding us of the whispers of the Holy Spirit of divine
Yeah.
inspiration. Oh my goodness, Ivy, thank you. Thank you again so much for all the
Thank you
things.
also for guesting in your show.
Oh, you're most welcome, Ivy. The pleasure is really sincerely mine. I'm very happy we've had this chance to chat finally. In the same way that you're helping people, I also want to show other people inspiring stories that, sometimes we don't see it, right? But I
Yeah, we don't.
hope
Yeah. No.
no, I hope this avenue helps other people really see what they can also do more of, what they can also change maybe in their lives to live a life that's more fulfilling. And I think
Yeah.
you've helped so much in that, Ivy. Your
Oh, thank you.
mom, your family must be so proud of you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you also.
Take care,
I hope.
Ivy. I'll see you again, okay? Take
Thank you. Bye
care.
bye.